Reset button.
Have you ever been, like, really invested in, say, I don't know, an RPG, just off the top of my head? You put hours and hours into it, you're level capped, you've done everything there is to do, but you're still doing New Game Plus, you're still doing shit, because you love the game so much, and all of a sudden there's, like, something fucks up. Your system gets the inevitable red rings of death, you get a glitch, or everything fucking wipes out. You know what I'm talking about, Tannen? Then it's like you essentially have to hit the reset button. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, man.
Well, that also carries over to real life. Welcome, Tannen, to the Reset Button, Episode 1, right here on Hibiki TMD. My man, it's Friday night as usual for us. We are back. First of all, thank you to Adam from Hard to Name Podcast. We're not doing the Hard to Name Podcast anymore, but thank everyone for all the feedback you gave Tannen, Adam, and I, and all the guests we've had, from Lee to Andrew to Kelly to Octavius, everyone else that I forgot to mention. It was a blast. Adam, thank you, but got to keep the train moving, Tannen, because it's Hibiki TMD. You know, just people demand it over there, especially in the UK. All our UK listeners, shout out to you. Follow Tannen now on Twitter, by the way, and happy belated birthday to you, Tannen.
Thank you, sir.
You are now on Twitter.
I am now on Twitter, and I'm also now 32 years old. It's great. I feel like a 32-bit system.
You are now a Sega Saturn.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather be a Sony PlayStation.
That's what I'm saying. Sony PlayStation had fucking Dino Crisis and, you know, the good stuff. But, yeah, Tannen is on Twitter. Where can everyone find you at now on Twitter, Tannen?
You can find me on Twitter at Tannenbum. Tannen's Bum. I'm sorry. Tannen's Bum at Twitter.
That is a long-ass handle. One more time. What is your Twitter handle?
Tannen's Bum.
It's Bum, not Tannenbaum. It's
not
pun.
Tannenbaum. Bum.
Yep. I see what you did there.
It's like my butt.
I literally had a chuckle when I saw your debut of your Twitter handle.
Yeah. So come and tweet my butt. It'll be great.
Yikes.
But yeah. Hitting the reset button. I think this is pretty great. I like going into it. I like, you know, it's just like when you play Mario and you just need that fresh start.
Yeah.
Gotta go back.
Well, for everyone that's never heard Hard to Name Podcast, first-time listeners, basically, we're just two dudes. Tannen works at a pawn shop. He deals with this kind of reseller scum fuck bullshit all the time. I'm just a dude, too, you know, and like to talk about some games, basically, and what's going on, our experiences, and, you know, nothing too fancy. Not too many bells and whistles, Tannen. It's just us, so... Yeah. Welcome, everyone. There's a lot going on this week, Tannen, as far as releases, and plus the holiday season is in full effect. How are things, first of all, over there at the lovely Pawn World, where you work?
Busy, as always, and that's the way I want it to be, because that's my livelihood.
Yeah.
But, you know, you still get that holiday crowd. I feel like I was talking about it earlier. I was like, I feel like people are a little bit more mean than usual. You know, especially starting this week.
Every year, more and more, it seems like people are just angrier.
Yeah, like, dude, what are you so pissed off about?
Well,
like,
I would say with damn good reason, considering the election this year, not to get into politics at all, but that would be...
Yeah, but you're shopping. You are shopping. Why are you so mad about shopping? Like, if shopping pisses you off so much and buying stuff pisses you off so much, then just don't go out and buy stuff. It's that easy.
To save $60 on a fucking flat screen. And, you know, it's funny, I have a friend, and his wife's grandmother has a tradition where she takes the grandchildren out for Black Friday shopping. She rounds up all the little troops at like 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. or whatever. It's like, that's dangerous, because people are nuts on Black Friday, and I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend to anyone listening to this to take any kind of loved ones, children, anything you hold dear out on Black
Yeah,
Friday.
especially
Even if
kids.
it's like a goldfish in a fucking bowl, it's gonna like get knocked over and the fish is gonna die. So don't do it. I recommend online shopping. It's 2016. Why the fuck are people still doing this? You know, it's asinine. Cyber Monday is just as big of a thing now as Black Friday, pretty much, in the United States. I would say, you know.
I think it's
Big.
more of it's a global thing at this
Yeah,
point.
definitely.
You know, that's where the Mooney is. Got to make that Mooney.
Well, obviously, being busy aside, have you fit in any time? I know you picked up a few new games this week, and one of them you've been itching to talk about, and I've been waiting to hear your thoughts on, I don't know, a game that has been highly anticipated, but not your usual Batman game, is it?
No, not at all. Yeah, that game is Batman, the Telltale series. I picked that up last week on Black Friday for $15, which was, in my opinion, a steal.
Nice.
I've been playing it all week as much as I can with the time that I have. I mean, it's a Telltale game, so that's, it's a Batman Telltale game at that. But, as usual, you're more vested in the story than what the gameplay is. The gameplay is pretty smooth for what it is. I mean, it's one of those interactive button prompt games mainly. But, that's what your combat is as well. But, as far as the storyline, which is what makes the game, the storyline so far is great. I'm only on the third episode. I'm not going to throw out any spoilers. I will say the game does kind of throw you some really good choices, especially for a Telltale game. At one point, I'll go ahead and just throw in this little part. At one point, you have to go talk to the current mayor of Gotham City, and you can either choose to talk to him as Bruce Wayne, or you can choose to talk to him as Batman.
And you went with?
I went with Bruce.
See, I would have gone with Bruce too, because that's not the standard, the norm. It's something different.
Well, I didn't want to go in and be brutalizing or anything, I thought, no, I'm going to go in this as a businessman to go talk to this guy. I don't need to be like, hey, you got to do something for the city or I'm going to break your arm, or something like that. Just like, Jesus, Bruce, it's the mayor. Like, let's go be Bruce.
Stellar Batman, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Your Batman and your Macho Man Randy Savage are great. But yeah, Telltale Batman, I really want to pick this game up. I mean, it's a Telltale game. They haven't been all hits like we talked about in the past. Like Jurassic Park wasn't that great.
I did not like Jurassic Park. I thought it was terrible.
But I feel like for every subpar, would you go to say stinker as Jurassic Park? Was it a stinker or just subpar?
The subpar, especially for Telltale standards. I mean, and I did play Jurassic Park after I played Wolf Among Us, and that was an excellent game. So, it was, I guess my expectations were like, as high as what Wolf Among Us.
Telltale from the debut from Sam & Max to the current with the Batman and all the other things they got their fingers in is the good outweighs the bad for the most part. And to not even give this game the time of day, you're doing yourself an injustice. No pun intended to Batman or the fighting game, Injustice 2 or whatever. But, yeah, guys, check that game out. I definitely, I'm excited for you to complete it and give a full review someday of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for them to put out the fifth episode. Hopefully by the time I get through the fourth episode, they'll release it. I think that'd be great. But I haven't even checked on what a possible release date is. I don't think I want to know. But, who knows? It might be nice to just have that little bit of anticipation. I played Walking Dead that way, did that by episode, and I actually did that with Wolf Among Us, too. Sometimes the wait would kill me, but...
would it make it better in the long run? Because it was...
In the end, sometimes it made it more satisfying, especially with the first season of The Walking Dead, because that was a really, really emotionally driven game. And, you did feel like your choices did make an impact. I mean, in the end, the journey was the same, no matter what you did. But you did get to choose the fates of some of the characters, that you got to at least take along with the journey.
Right.
So, that made it really cool. I also, actually, for my birthday, too, Karen, who... For the listeners that are out there, because I do bring her up a good bit, that is my live-in girlfriend / life partner / that's my Adrian. She's definitely always in my corner. She though she spoiled the shit out of me with my birthday. I got a lot of good games. One of them even being Telltale Borderlands.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that one, I don't know if I'm going to play that immediately after Batman. You know, I might take a break from Telltale just for a second to then go back. But at the same time, you never know. If episode 5's not out, I might be like, oh, I need to do something. So,
yeah. Excellent.
Yep. I also got Battlefield 1. That was
you finally got it.
Yeah,
you rented it the first time you talked about it, I believe.
Yeah, I rented it, and I spent way too much money on renting it, but I didn't want to take it back.
Did you finally dabble in the multiplayer?
I haven't even opened the package yet.
Oh.
Moving
on.
Yeah. Yeah, it just came, but I'm just saying, like, I'll probably be talking about that for the next episode.
Yeah, once you open that fucker up, I don't see you coming. You're going to be fenced in for a while. I would be.
Just for a little bit. I wish you'd get it, so that way we can play together. Everybody else I know has it for Xbox One, and I'm like, what? Why?
Man, I'm waiting for so much to drop. I actually do, even though I didn't play the first, I want to check out Titanfall 2 because it's been getting rave reviews, honestly.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that. I want to get into my Xbox a little bit more, but, you know, that's also, I got to pay for another subscription, which is kind of shitty, but got to do what you got to do.
Speaking of rave reviews, Tannen, I've had this game since like June or July, because I was late getting a PS4 from the get. But this is one of the newest game I own is the latest Doom entry from Bethesda and ID. I finally got around to beating it. It like when I got it the same time I got Overwatch, pretty much. And honestly, it took a backseat to Overwatch because we're going to talk about Overwatch later and Game of the Year awards and everything. But it was Game of the Year. Spoiler alert. But not saying. You know, it's a toughie because they're both excellent games. It's just, I guess Overwatch is more my alley. It's more of a gimmicky shooter, but Doom is where it's at. It's just as good, and I really feel like I cheated myself by not getting into it earlier because I actually like it more than Overwatch. The campaign is one of the best single-player campaigns in a first-person shooter I've ever played. Bethesda really outdid themselves. ID once again. ID just God, they knocked it out of the park so many times. Tannen, I don't know if you ever plan on picking this game up. I will say it's fucking Doom. Of course, it gets hard as shit. The multiplayer, it's good. It's not going to blow your mind, but it's old school. People give it flack. It's just old school, straight up team deathmatch style run around.
No, I played it. I rented it. I rented that one, and I did play some of the multiplayer, and I actually liked it. It was easy to jump into.
And there's there's been so much DLC released. Second pack just came out, but there's a plethora of content Bethesda gives you from the get, along with the snap map mode, which is by far my favorite mode. It's a map creator with you do classic Doom skins, all that stuff. That is one of my games of the year by far. If you're not playing Doom, you're not doing it right. You just need to check it out, guys. Also, I went played Left Behind more, Last of Us DLC. About beat it. It did pick up. I know on the other show we used to do, I said it was a little slow, but that was to be expected. I just started, but yeah, I've loved it. It can do no wrong. Finally played the multiplayer, Tannen. I also really like that too, and you were right. It's good.
It is. It's definitely an excellent multiplayer. A lot of different kind of strategy to it. You know, like. So it definitely involves teamwork. It's really great if your team is communicating and you all are working together, especially if you're playing against a team that is not working together, because that's when you can dominate.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's kind of saying, oh, it's a cheap shot, but you know. But yeah, no, I'm glad you picked those up. Left Behind was good. I mean, that was really just for its storyline to give you a little bit more of a backstory.
Yeah, like you said before, you could totally just insert that. And spoiler alert again, in Last of Us, where Joel falls, and just insert a Left Behind. It can just all run as one long game, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So totally fit. So. Yeah, other than that, you know, random retro games. But other than, you know, news this week is kind of off the charts. First of all, huge announcement from Universal and Nintendo, Tatum. What the hell is going on there? Because this is really exciting for me. Like nerdgasming all over the place.
Yeah, no, as soon as I read about it and saw the announcement, I just about crapped my pants, and I was just like, oh man, I really want to go back to Florida. Universal and Nintendo have teamed up to create a part of the theme park that is Nintendo. It's a Nintendo theme park. And it sounds like it's going to be awesome. They got a lot of great plans in the works, and even including augmented reality, so you can use your cell phone as to
Catching
interact.
Pokemon. Catching Pokemon. Yeah. That's what they're going to fucking gimmick the mobile for.
No. I don't think it's just going to be catching Pokemon. I think you'll be able to like maybe interact a little bit more. I really feel like there's going to be a little bit more.
Look up Zelda's skirt with your phone.
Yeah. Oh man, wouldn't that be awesome? I'm curious about that. But yeah, I think you never know. There might be all kinds of stuff that they have, as far as that goes. But I think they really are going to invest that you are in the world of Nintendo. I mean, hell, I can't even imagine the rides that they're going to have.
I think I can initially what kind of rides do you think? Because I'm seeing first of all, I totally see a Donkey Kong water park. I see an F-Zero coaster. I see a Splatoon paintball thing or some shit, some sort of hybrid fucking new wave.
I see some kind of a Mario Kart thing.
I see, definitely. You could see all kinds of little bumper car sets around that are Mario Kart for babies, for the little kids and stuff.
Just Baby Park completely recreated.
Star Fox 3D Flight Simulator. Bam.
Oh damn.
Where's the money in my pocket right now? I'd patent that shit. You guys heard it here first. Just saying. But yeah, Nintendo posted a video initially. You actually told me about this news, and I went back and saw when it was announced. Mark Woodbury, the CEO of Universal, and Miyamoto himself were interviewed on it, talking about how, yeah, they're super excited, as everyone seems to be, and stay tuned for more details. But it's a go, man. Why didn't we have this when we were kids?
That's something I always wanted. Hey, Sega did have their theme park in Japan, but how the hell are we going to get Japan as, 8-year-old kids?
My daddy was too busy not being rich enough to send me to Japan, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think my family would have wanted to go to Japan anyway.
That's not some place you go on vacation.
No, it's someplace you go to backpack in your early 20s.
Or if you're total nerds like us in your 30s. I'm going. Video games and good food and restaurants with toilets and seats, all that shit. Yeah. It's Japan. What can you say?
Japan. Let's get weird.
This definitely speaks to video games just as a whole being such a household thing at this point and so mainstream. Even though you could say Wayne's World had a part in a theme park, which is still there, by the way.
I really feel like for the longest time, I would not be surprised if Disney really tried to get their hands on that. And, Nintendo was like, no, but Universal is going to give them the freedom. They're not going to be like, we understand. But another great thing about this is this opens up the possibility for more Nintendo-based movies that will be really good.
You think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I doubt they would make the same mistake that they did with, Mario Brothers.
I was going to say, it's hard to top that
90s.
5-star classic.
But,
do you like or not like that movie, by the way?
I both like and not like it at the same time. It is a
it's so bad it's good type thing. I feel about Street Fighter the movie. I love that movie, but for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Except fucking Raul Julia. He's excellent in that. His speech is just stuff of legend.
But they had a pretty cool concept going with that movie. That the whole
until everything dimension, if by concept you mean shit. Fucking look at Bowser or Koopa or whatever the fuck he was. Really? That's what you come out with? I know it wasn't the age of CGI, but do something. I don't know. I'd stick to the roots. I'm a purist at heart, I guess, a snob in a way. With comic book movies, I'm such a terrible critic. Because the source material is there in the comics for you. Don't put your own fucking spin on it. Don't fucking, Zack Snyder shit. Just do what people want for the most part,
Well, and that's what I feel like Universal's going to do. I feel like they're going to take that in the direction.
Because
that needs to be
they're in bed with Nintendo on this, basically.
Oh, yeah.
They don't really
And everybody's going to make money. I mean, it keeps Nintendo afloat. It's another thing to keep Nintendo afloat.
Well, let's keep this afloat, because coming up, we're going to take a little break before we talk about the Game Awards, Tannen, because we got couple interesting things to talk about that. But speaking of making money, Final Fantasy 15 is here. It finally, and neither one of us fucking got it. Damn
it. But boy, do people love it.
People,
and man, is it making a shit ton of money.
It has
really
already,
fast.
it's already, in 24 hours, it made $5 million, at least. It's already, has it broken the record for all-time selling Final Fantasy game in the entire history of Final Fantasy? I think it has broken it. Or it is well on its way to doing so, because, I don't know, this game, God, it's been so long since this game has been teased from the get-go, Tannen. Think about this, 15 Assassin's Creed games have come and gone since this game was announced and released. That is insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just to bring it up to you real quick, I mean, I did want to say, and they're probably already out, but Target even went as far as to release a Jones soda-themed beverage.
Soda, yes.
That if you bought the game, you got the soda. And if there's any listeners that were able to get their hands on it and try it, I would like a review of that soda. I like soda a lot. Pretty big soda enthusiast. So I'm definitely curious about that. I don't know anybody personally that actually got their hands on any of the Nuka-Cola when that came out. So, but I think Target made it more accessible for people to get their hands on it. So
I have some of the Harry Potter cream soda I got from secondhand Charles that I haven't opened. But
the butterbeer stuff?
Yes. I don't want to open it.
Yeah, they had butterbeer at Universal, like on tap.
Nice.
This is crazy. Yeah, it's another thing. Go to Universal, go to, when Nintendo opens, and then stop by the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and get, all nice and fucked up on butterbeer.
Treat yourself. You're a grown-ass man. You do what you want.
Yeah.
Go to Harry Potter and Mario Land. It doesn't matter. I didn't even mean to rhyme. That just happened. But Final Fantasy 15, not to launch out. But, yeah, dude, I want to pick it up. I don't know if I'm going to pay $60 for it, honestly.
It's just one of those things, it's as fast as things price drop anymore.
Yeah.
It's when stuff comes out right away. It's like I'm really glad I didn't pick up Battlefield 1 right off the bat, because that's selling for like $30 now. It's been that long at all.
A lot of people are saying Dishonored 2 is good, but it's not worth $60. And they're kind of regretting they got it.
Felt kind of the same way about the first Dishonored, though.
First Dishonored about a lot of games. Let's be honest. Pretty much every game. Yeah. It takes a lot for me to get to pay $60, Tannen. A lot. It really does. I don't know about you.
No, it's very true. Another game that was announced there real quick, The Last Guardian finally released its footage. The first 7 minutes of gameplay, and it looks like everything that, if you're a fan of the Ico series, everything that you've been waiting for.
But other side of the coin, you only saw 7 minutes footage.
Yeah. But that's once again, am I going to pay $60 for it or pre-order it? Probably not. Just because I'll wait for it to drop to $30.
I'm a bitter old man.
You
scum fuck. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, it's about fucking, I don't even have hype or, low anything for it. At this point, I'm just like, it's about fucking time. Just put it out. Just fucking put it out.
Yeah. Which makes me wonder,
Last Guardian we're talking about, guys.
Yeah, Last Guardian. It's just, and a big part of it is, man, what fucking took so long? Really,
at its core, I don't know. I just don't know at this point. Like I said, I'm just put it out. Just fucking do it. Pull the trigger. Bust your load.
Yeah, because, it looks great and all, but, when it was being made, it was made with PS3 technology in mind. And it still kind of looks like the PS3 could definitely handle the game.
Oh, yeah. Especially now with all the updates, PS3s are still, Xbox 360s and PS3 get updates all the time, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of looking great, the Zelda 30th anniversary amiibos came out this week, Tannen, and they look great. They look phenomenal, actually. I'm going to pick up the Pixel one and the Ocarina Link, I think, out of all of them.
Right on, yeah. I definitely went the Pixel one. That's the only one I really care about. Just to match my Mario Pixel one.
That's something I don't feel like we've never really talked a lot about, even like off air. This whole shelf candy obsession, our Funko Pop figures, our Amiibos, this whole thing. Disney Infinity, but that's pretty much obsolete now because, Disney Infinity's done. This whole obsession, Tanner, what do you, like, in your opinion, do you get it? Are certain ones stick out to you,
I do get it. I mean, but the thing is, I only have 2 Amiibos. I have the Super Mario 30th Anniversary, and I have Link. And those are the only 2 that I have. And I mean, even when I bought them, I was like, oh my God, I could just go back and get more. So much more. I've got some that I'm actually going to pick up that are out of the package. But as far as they go, they're like, I have a friend, she is crazy on Amiibos. She has a whole room dedicated to Amiibo.
They make custom things you put on your wall now to make 3D Mario levels for your Amiibos specifically, too. It's insane.
That is awesome.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, it's reseller scumfuck heaven because essentially in a couple of years, these things are going to, especially the rare ones, are going to go, like the Yoshi's Woolly World ones that are like people literally made these things, handmade, their actual wool. They're going to go astronomical in the coming years, in my opinion.
Oh, no doubt. Unless a cat gets a hold of them.
Yeah, true that. But yeah, I mean, these Zelda things, the Amiibos, they look good. And Zelda as a whole, even the 30th anniversary, and we could talk 5 shows in a row just about Zelda. Let's put a recap on Zelda real quick. I think we owe it to the series because it's one of our fondest memories. I know it's one of yours. Zelda is one of and a lot of people don't like Zelda, and a lot of people don't even see it that way. People just automatically assume Zelda is one of the games. Oh, everyone likes Zelda. A lot of people don't like Zelda. They panic. But for those people, what are you doing? Like, have you played the same game as I have? Because certain games in the series, obviously, as every series, have their low points. But I don't think the low points in the series have been anything to kill it, like to flat out just pull the plug. I just think it's been like, oh, they missed their mark, or maybe it'll be. It's always been. You always have that feeling the next one will be better. They'll always redeem themselves because that's what they do, essentially, with the Zelda series. When it hits a low point, they come back with something way better.
Yeah, that's usually at least what they try to do. I mean, I give them credit for trying to throw out new ideas. Because let's face it, if we had the same Zelda game, like what if the original Zelda, and that it was that, and then that's all we had was that over and over again, but just a different look to the game.
No, I totally get it. Yeah.
Like that, it would have gotten old. You got to throw new stuff in. And which is great, like with the items and everything too. I mean, that was one of the first games to incorporate that, and that's what gave you so much. You had all these different choices and all these different things to work with, and then like you had Zelda 2, which was like this weird overhead RPG / side scroller.
They went outside the box, totally.
They did. I still to this day don't know where they went from. Hey, let's make it a side scroller, but they were trying something new. They wanted to make a new Zelda game. And,
side scrollers were their bread and butter. That was their most popular genre that they sold at the time. So they thought, let's see. It was a test project.
Well, and also it had RPG elements. I mean, you could level up and pick to upgrade your magic or pick to upgrade your life. And, that was really interesting to have in there. I mean, was Zelda 2 a bad game? No. Was it a disappointment? Yes. And then that's why I feel like they went back to the roots with it for Link to the Past, the third entry. They went ahead and did the overhead thing, and that time around too, they had, a higher engine, of course, better graphics.
I'm gonna real quick, not to cut you off, I'm gonna put you on the spot. On the count of 3, we're gonna say our favorite all-time Zelda game. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
Link to the Past.
Oh, look at that! See, I knew it.
You wanna go do karate in the garage?
I think we've already done that in the almost 20 years I've known you, which is crazy to think. We probably I think we have drunk boxed in the garage, but off track.
Oh yeah, we definitely have drunk boxed in the garage.
Hey, that counts. Link to the Past is where it's at. Obviously, like I said, there's so much more we could say about Zelda, really, Shannon, but we're not gonna. We got a lot more show left.
Yeah, we got a lot more show left. We'll just have a Zelda episode one day.
That's good.
But I'd say we're about ready for a break here, though.
I would say we're about cozy and ready for another. I need another drink. I don't know about you. I need a little stretchy. Let's take a little break. Reset button. When we come back, we got the 2016 Game Awards. Some controversial picks, in my opinion, for my personal taste, Tannen. We're going to also talk about our games of the year, what we thought were our favorite games of the year. When we come back on the Reset button, episode 1, Tannen. You You good? Let's go full force, Top Gun style, volleyball scene.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, Mike here from the Slam Pigs Podcast, reminding you, as always, check us out on Twitter, @Slam Pigs Podcast. Check us out on Facebook, The Slam Pigs Podcast. Or, as always, check us out on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. Hibiki TMD is where it's at. Until we meet again, oink oink.
Oh, gotcha. I love the Phil Hartman, Ed McMahon on SNL was classic.
It was.
I miss Phil Hartman.
How could you not miss Phil Hartman?
Not to start off after the break with depressing.
Yeah, Captain Buzzkill though.
We are back. It's been all over the place now with Phil Hartman reference. Honestly, no.
Yeah. I'm hitting the reset button on this one.
Hit the reset button.
Reset.
We are back with the reset button. I'm Travis here with Tannen. We just got done talking about the Zelda and what it meant to us over the years, as it just had its 30th anniversary, alongside with the new Amiibos and all that good stuff. Final Fantasy 15, Telltale Batman, New Doom. If you guys missed the beginning of the show, I don't know why you would. I don't know why I even said that, but we are back. The 2016 Game Awards, Tannen, have come and gone. A couple surprises, honestly, in my opinion. I don't know if you know, like the main winners, or if you know.
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay. So I think out the gate, what sticks out to me, and I'm not going to start at the top of like Game of the Year. Just this one just bothered me a little bit because Ratchet and Clank was so good. I did end up renting that for my kids, and it was great. And the fact that got beat out for Best Family Game by Pokemon Go. And first of all, these awards, they don't really fucking mean anything. It's just I don't even know. Like it just seems asinine that a mobile game that now no one talks about literally because the new Pokemon came out would beat Ratchet and Clank, which was a solid family, you could even say action adventure, definitely more than a family game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, by far. I mean, I see their point in saying the thing is it won Best Mobile Game, and they should have kept it at that. They should not have dragged that over to be a fighting force against console games.
But it's
as a family game, you know, like I see their point. Hey, go out with your family, catch some Pokemon, whatever. But at the same time, it's like that's not a console game. It's an augmented reality mobile game. And
half the time it was parents just being frustrated because they were being drug around for shit they knew nothing about. Like, okay, go catch whatever, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's motivation to like take your kids to the park or get them outside or something, you know, and I can see, you know, children enjoying it and parents enjoying spending that time with their children, and you know, like having that much fun. Like I can't imagine going out. See, when we were kids, we would use our imagination. I mean, I was a little bit older when Pokemon did come out, so I didn't literally go into my backyard and catch Pokemon.
Yeah, we were like 13, 14, I think.
But you know, 98. Like it's a game like that. You'd have to use your imagination. Now, you know, like, oh well, here's this phone. But then to be able to pull up your phone and like, oh my God, there's Pokemon in front of me. You know, like to be a kid and to experience that, you know, that I could see that being fun. And seeing the parents having fun, seeing their children being so overjoyed and also being physically active. However, though, do I consider it a family game? Not at all, because as I look at the list, it's the only freaking mobile game in the best family game category. Everything else is a console game.
Game. Let's say game, because it's fun.
Yeah, game. You know, like... Yeah, best family game. When I think of family game, like I think of like, you know, a trivia game or like, you know, kind of a board game based game in a way, like, or like Mario Party or something. I don't think of Pokemon Go. Like, hey kids, let's crowd around the phone now and catch some Pokemon.
Yeah, I think the main reason though that this is just disappointing to me is Pokemon Go is not going to stand the test of time. It's a fucking mobile game. They never do. The Ratchet and Clank PS4 game that came out with the movie will, because it's going to go down as a great game. Basically.
Yeah.
Other surprises on here. First of all, Bethesda cleaned up. Well, not really surprises as far as Dishonored 2 goes, because you knew that that was fresh too. It just came out not that long ago.
Yeah, they had two heavy hitters though coming into this competition. They had that and they had Doom. No, I'm talking about Bethesda.
Oh yeah, Doom. They had nominee.
Oh yeah, no. I was just talking about for the company. They had two
Right.
main big titles that came out this year. Both of them had rave reviews. Both of them were well taken by the public. And so I mean, congrats to Bethesda for really like spreading their shit out and having yeah, as I said, two heavy hitters walking in. That really did kind of if I was a company and I had two blockbuster things, whatever it may be, going into a competition like this, I would call it a competition. As far as an awards thing goes, you're trying to get praise and people do respond to that, and they definitely they kind of had it under their belt as far as cleaning up, as you said. They because of that though, um,
But
as we
but they did not win the tippy top of the mountain game of the year award. Blizzard
no.
actually took it home this year with Overwatch, which didn't really surprise me, honestly, that it won game of the year. Not to like be braggadocious on Overwatch, but just like the hype surrounding it when it was released, the demand for it, just the popularity, the BlizzCon events, just the popularity of the cosplayers, everything about Overwatch. It's been a total success for Blizzard. And Tana, I know you still haven't played it. I've played it a lot this year, and it definitely deserves Game of the Year. It did, in my opinion. It did have some stiff competition. Let's be honest.
It did, especially with I played Uncharted 4 and was thinking that was going to get more awards than what it did because that game was excellent.
And that one I have not. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, we're going to have to do a switcheroo. I think one week, and you play Uncharted 4, I'll play Overwatch, and then we'll compare notes. But I really did enjoy A Thieves End. I thought it was a total work of art, honestly. I mean, once again, though, when I really sat down and played it through, I mean, a lot of replay value as far as going back and playing it on a harder difficulty, of course, and everything like that. But it's once again mainly a story-based game. I beat it in like 2 days, of just sitting down and playing it. Dedicated a lot of time to it. And in the end, $60 to get a game that I'm going to beat in 2 days. It is like one of those things that you kind of hit the pause button, so to speak, on and say, man, like, was that worth my $60? Where Overwatch, that replay value is extremely high. You're gonna keep that value because you're gonna keep going back and playing it.
And that leads me to this point to you, Tannen. And my question actually, should a game of the year even exist, like the entire award? Because is it fair to compare an Overwatch game to an Uncharted, two totally different genres, an online-only game experience versus a straight-up story mode, with Uncharted?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
But yeah, I'd say why not? Because they both have their pros and cons.
That's like saying, "Oh, here's the best football player, and this is the best tennis player. Who's the best athlete in the world?" Is that fair? That's essentially basically what that is, kind of.
They do that kind of in the Olympics if you think about it, because there's athletes that'll do different sports and cross over other sports. Yeah, go gold Bo Jackson all over this. So yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, it's fair to have a game of the year. I mean, why not? But there have been years, like, let's face it, there have been Game Awards years where it's been like game of the year was like a total like what the hell, like like that's game of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, going through this list, yeah, Overwatch got that. Also, Overwatch got best game direction.
Yeah,
that throws me off because
Doom also got best soundtrack. Speaking of games getting a couple awards, I think Doom did get best soundtrack.
But as far as best game direction goes, I don't know why Uncharted 4 didn't get that.
I agree, and even though I haven't played Uncharted, I know where the series goes because I'm not an idiot and I do know about Uncharted. With Overwatch, essentially, at the end of the day, is someone who even loves Overwatch. Overwatch is a Team Fortress 2 on fucking steroids. That it didn't do anything totally like out of the realm. It didn't. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. No, I know exactly what you're saying. When I think direction, like, I just when I look at that part and that Uncharted didn't get that, I'm just kind of like, what the hell,
Yeah. I get that.
Battlefield 1 was another one that was actually up for that. And I think if Battlefield 1 had more of a single player campaign, I would put that up there too. The single player campaign for that was just I loved it. I loved that. I especially loved the tank campaign.
It's been a great year, really, for single player FPS games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like Battlefield's really at the heart of it, it's a multiplayer game, but I still I really enjoyed it. It was a World War One game. We have not gotten a great World War One game, I think, ever, unless you count, oh, that was a story-based game that was kind of animated. I can't even remember what it was called now, but it's like really emotionally driven. Came out a
Yeah.
couple years ago.
Oh, I can't think of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but other than that, though, it's like, wow, we finally got a good World War One FPS, and that's exactly what it was. As I'm going down the list here, then you have Best Narrative. Uncharted did get that, and I think it was very deserving. There's a couple of games I did not play. I've not played Firewatch. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've never played Inside or Oxenfree, which I'd like to check both of those out. Mafia 3 was also on that list, and I did play Mafia 3. The story to Mafia 3 was great. The characters were great.
People canned that game, though, this year.
Because of the bugs.
Yeah.
They released it with so much bugs and just, and the graphics really weren't that great.
2016 for you.
And also the gameplay itself, the story was awesome, but the gameplay itself was just repetitive. Oh, I'm going to hide at this corner. I'm going to wait for this guy to get close. You're stabbed. And then another guard will be like, look, what was that? And he'll walk up to inspect the body. Well, I'm going to jump out and stab you. I seriously spent 15 minutes just hiding in the same corner and stabbing people at one point playing that game.
Nice.
Also,
Best RPG was won by The Witcher 3, which another category, this did not surprise me. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Witcher 3 gets nothing but rave reviews. But I love Xenoblade Chronicles because I've actually beaten Xenoblade Chronicles. It was tremendous. I haven't actually really played Witcher 3, so I'm just going off what I know. Xenoblade Chronicles. Let's go ahead and wrap up the Game of the Year stuff because that's pretty much the main winners and stuff. I would say, looking back on 2016, Tannen, we're going to look at this as one of the best release years for shooters in general. Infinite Warfare, Titanfall 2, every fucking Overwatch. I keep going. Battlefield 1. It's just been a great year for shooters. I know it's an overdone genre, but when it's done right, it's excellent. Doom, exactly. How can I leave out Doom? Thank you, Tannen. Hit the reset button on that. What would you say, Tannen, or I can take it first if you want, are your games of the year from what you've played?
My games of the year for what they were released? I'd really go with Uncharted. I'd say as far as what new releases were this year. I mean, I played all kinds of games this year, but as far as what came out in 2016,
we could do anything you played this for your personal Tannenland gameplay.
Oh, that list is all over the place.
Well, what are your favorites? That makes it better.
The favorites that I got to get started in this year was Mario Kart Wii U. We had finally gotten Mario Kart 8. Karen got me a Wii U for Christmas last year, and then we spent all winter playing Mario Kart.
Oh yeah,
that kept us so occupied. Oh yeah, you joined us on that.
Yeah, that's before I had my PS4, and all I had was a Wii U, and that's all I played. That and Splatoon, literally.
No, and Xenoblade. I think you got
Xenoblade. But once you get into Mario Kart 8 and you go online, and it's all about your points, which really mean nothing in the end. They're kind of like trophies.
Oh, you unlock different stuff for your vehicles and things of that nature. So
but you unlock everything eventually, and that's just points.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's just that would definitely be a big contender. That would be like my winner for the Wii U. Loved Mario Maker. But as far as stuff that I got on the Wii U this year, but Mario Kart definitely takes the cake. I'm just going to do it by system.
Battlefield 1.
Yeah,
for you.
My PS4. No, PS4 would actually be Uncharted. Battlefield 1 definitely is another one. I'm still trying to think. Like I enjoyed Mafia 3,
Telltale Batman be up there
not a game
already?
Telltale Batman will definitely be up there, but that's in its own genre. You know what I mean? As far as like a storytelling game goes, Batman.
But it's a game.
Yeah.
Is it a game or is it? It's a Telltale game.
It's a Telltale game.
Yeah,
by far.
Hashtag game.
Yeah, hashtag game. But yeah, those would be it. I really enjoyed Doom, but I still haven't gone out and bought that. Overwatch is definitely in my queue to pick up. I'm actually paying that off with a group of games, so that's I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice.
But yeah, those would be my top three top four right there. Would be Uncharted. We'll go ahead and go with Batman because I am playing that right now and really enjoying it.
Plus, I'm sure countless of retro games you dabble in throughout the years. Who the fuck keeps count of that kind of shit?
Yeah, I don't know who keeps count of that. I mean, I finally did play, I finally did play Zelda Minish Cap, and I have not beaten it yet, but so far I've liked that one. I like that as a Zelda adventure.
That was a good Zelda game.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as handheld Zelda games, Link's Awakening is where it's at for me.
Oh yeah, hands down that's probably the best one in the handheld world of Zelda. But it's still a good game. It's a good Zelda game. I like it way more than the ones on DS actually.
Right. Solid picks. Solid. Keeping busy with your gaming. For me, I played The Last of Us for the first time this year. Obviously, God, what a fucking game. What can you say about The Last of Us? Especially the remastered version. Those poor schmucks who played it originally. Sorry, guys, but I played the version I guess I should have waited for because it was worth it. If you've never played The Last of Us, go do it. I don't know what you're waiting for.
Even if you played it on PS3, go back and play it on PS4 because it's excellent.
It's one of the best stories that I've played in modern gaming to date, and that's I don't know. It's just great. It makes you laugh. It makes you cry. It will make you tear up. You will tear up. I'm going to warn you going into this. Probably within the first 20 minutes of the game, I was warned by somebody originally that was going to happen, and guess what? It kind of pretty much did. I didn't go like full out ball baby cry, but I teared up a little bit.
Yeah, no. If you don't at least spill a tear playing the first 15 minutes of that game, you're not human.
Spoiler alert: Kleenex, guys.
And if you don't cry and you actually laugh, you need to go to a therapist.
True that, but I mean it's no shock for anyone that follows on the Twitter or on here on the Facebook machine. Obviously, Overwatch, Doom, my two games there. Xenoblade Chronicles I count because it was released late last December, so technically it falls into the Game Awards. So I'm going to count it here. That game's excellent. For those of you that still dusted off your Wii U, it's good little system. I think it's underrated little system. I've always defended the Wii U. I'm not a huge fan of Nintendo lately by any means. They are getting brownie points with me slowly but surely. They're getting up there, especially with the Switch. That has me very positive thinking with Nintendo. Not that usual negative Nintendo feels I have, Tannen. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But Xenoblade, if you got a Wii U, check it out. It's not expensive, especially now. It's over a year old. Get out there, play it. I recommend picking up everything Wii U related this holiday season before it goes the fuck up in the coming years. So get it now while it's going to be cheap.
Right now, I mean, shit, Zelda Wind Waker HD, I picked that up for $20.
I shout out to my friend Kevin on Twitter who picked that up for like $6 the other day. I saw he tweeted that out.
Holy crap! Yeah, good find.
I do. Oh, real quick, Tannen, and I can't believe. And I told these guys I was gonna mention them. Thank you to Mick Berry and to Creamy Elephant on Twitter for helping me do some frustrating ISOs and emulation PlayStation 1 stuff this week. I was able to play some PS1 Spider-Man and some Chrono Cross for a little bit before it crashed, but I'm going to work the bugs out. But you got me in the right direction. I appreciate your time and patience for someone who knows nothing about ISOs and is a noob, totally. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Tannen, it's been an excellent start, my friend. I'm glad we're on board together. I couldn't think of, honestly, personally, anyone better besides Adam, who did Hard to Name with you also, to do this with. So thank you for joining me, man. I know you're a little tired tonight, but I appreciate you trudging through, man.
Hey, you're quite welcome. I was up for it. I just had to, as I said, wake myself back up, get my second win.
Since we want to go off here with a bang, I'm going to throw you a lefty, a left curve. I'm going to throw you a game of the week for next week, guys. We're going to carry that over from Hard to Name podcast here. I want to keep it going, Tannen. Game of the week's fun. It's always fun to go back. If you have time this week, Tannen, I want you to go back. Check this game out. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
North and South for the NES.
North and South. Okay.
Go back, play a couple minutes of it, see what you think. Let me know next week, guys. Thank you so much for joining me and Tannen here on the Reset button. Follow me on Twitter at @TheHibiki Hit that subscribe button. Check out the Facebook group, Tannen. In the coming weeks, we're going to have a better sound quality. Sorry for the via satellite style over the phone, but hey, it's better than nothing. Yeah. But Tannen, man, have a great week, brother. I will talk to you next time when we hit that reset button.
Sounds good to me.
We'll see you guys here next week. Have a good one.
Reset button.